Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Stampin' with No-No. Today's video is part of a blog hop, Stampin' with Friends, and for the month of May, the technique that was picked for the blog hop was the One Sheet Wonder. I think what's going to really be exciting about this month is if you're familiar with One Sheet Wonders, either using a 12 by 12 sheet or a 6 by 6 sheet, you cut it up and you try to maximize the number of cards you can create with little to no waste. And I think what's great about this month is there's so many different interpretations out there of how you can cut your paper that I'm really looking forward to seeing how everyone creates their One Sheet Wonder. So with mine, I selected a 6 by 6 sheet. And if you watch my previous videos, you may recognize the DSP. I have used it to where I don't have a whole lot left, and I was real sorry to hear that it was actually the entire suite was listed as a last chance item. And it's the Flowers of Beauty and the Unbounded Love, which I have just used almost, it seems like almost every video I've used it. It's just been a great stamp set. I did not check to see if it's still there, and if it's something you've been wanting to do, please don't hesitate because it's going to be gone. I'll be surprised actually if it's still there. So this is the 6 by 6, and my layout, I'm going to cut it, and I'll show you. I've learned some tricks watching some videos on 6 by 6 one sheet wonders, and I thought, well, let me see if I can do something a little bit easier. So I'm going to show you. Hopefully you guys, after you've seen it, you'll agree that it was a lot easier to do it this way. But my cut is going to be creating 4 cards, and there's not going to be any waste with this layout. So first, what you want to do is you'll need a ruler and a good pencil that has a good eraser, and you want to, on all 4 corners, you want to go in 1 1/2 inch, and you want to put a little tick mark. So ahead of time I went and did put some tick marks, but I want to go through it in case you guys need to do a visual. Sometimes visuals are just so much better than trying to read the directions, you know, in a blog. So using my ruler, I've got right here is 1 1/2, and I'm just going to put a real light tick mark right there. And then I'm going to turn it, rotate it, and do the exact same thing. Mark it. I'll get my paper straight. I'm using my grid to help me. My glass grid. And then at the 1 1/2, which is right here, I'm going to put a tick mark. Rotate 3rd time. Line it up. 1 1/2. Which is kind of funny with all these lights. It's just a tad hard to see. Okay, I think let's do one more. 1 1/2 tick mark. Okay. I think we're done with my ruler for right now. All right, so each place I've got a tick mark. All right, so let me bring my diagram over. That might help a little bit better. Now this, you'll find this in my blog, and these are the cuts that's going to end up making the 4 cards. What I just did, the light colored gray is actually the DSP, and then the darker shade is a piece of cardstock, and I'll show you how I line that up. So here what I just did, I just went in 1 1/2 on all 4 sides and just put a little tick mark. Okay, easy peasy. All right, so here's my piece of cardstock, and what I want to do is I want to have a mat behind this piece of DSP, and I'm just going to have to break down and show you the layout, won't I? Let me do that real quick. Here's one of them that I did. I did not finish the inside, but you can see right here I used that green for the mat. Now, if you don't want to go through all this, you can omit the cardstock, and you can just lay that DSP straight down, and it'll look just gorgeous. But I like having mats, so I wanted to kind of step it up a notch with this. So I am taking this DSP, 6x6. Cardstock is 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. But again, I'll have it in my blog because I have to double check all my measurements. So I am centering it as best as I can. And what I want to do is I want to put both pieces in the trimmer so that I'm cutting from top of the tick down to the bottom. I'm going to rotate it, and I'm going to do another cut, the tick mark here, straight down. Now, the best way to keep this together, I tried cutting it separately, like first doing the DSP and then second doing the cardstock, and it never lined up right. So I decided to go ahead and try this. So I'm taking a piece of masking tape, Post-it note, anything that you have. You can even take the, what do you call it? It's not the permanent adhesive, the removable. And you can tack this down, but I don't have it with me. So I'm just doing this. So I am just tacking that down so that the DSP and the cardstock does not go anywhere. Let me just get a longer piece. You don't need a whole lot, but you certainly want to make sure that it's tacked down good because you don't want it to go anywhere after you trim it. Now this might be, I don't know, a little overkill, but we'll see. And then I have a trick once I cut it the first time because you want to keep everything in place. Let me just tear that. Probably too long of a piece. All right, I'm going to need that in just a second. So I'm getting my trimmer out. And I think, let's see. All right, so here's my tick mark right here. You guys can see it. And then here's my other tick mark right here. So I want to put this tick mark in my track. And I want to line up the bottom one. So I want both of the tick marks in the track. And you just kind of have to swing it around. I'm going to have to move that down. I think that's going to be a problem. All right, so I've got that lined up and got that. All right, I think we are good. Get that out of the way. Make sure that's good and pressed. And then just slice it. There we go. Now, when you lift it up, try to keep your paper together. What I'm going to do is that extra piece that I had, I'm just going to move it right there so it stays in place. So I'm going to have to rotate because now I'm going to have to trim the other piece. So just carefully, try not to tear apart, separate the two pieces. I've got a tick mark right there. It's in the track. So I want to swing the bottom one, and it's right there. Just a smidgen over. There we go. Just a little hair. All right, so we're good. I got the two pieces together. So holding it down firm and using my trimmer. There we go. Okay, and I think I've got all 4 pieces taped together. All right, I'm done with that. All right, so here's one. All right, so it was like this, right? Yep, that one moved, didn't it? That's okay. I don't need this one anymore. That one. All right, and then this one. So here's, and there we go. So it's enough to make 4 cards. Okay? Easy peasy. So now what we want to do is glue the DSP to the card base. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move these aside because I did create some cards before. I'll do these later. Let me bring those over now that I've got this done. Showed you how easy it was to do. So here's one card that's going with this direction. And I've got to use some glitter. I actually need some sympathy cards. It's sad that I have to, but I'm low on my sympathy cards. So all of these 4 cards are sympathy related, but you can easily change it to a different theme. So there's my other one. There's my 3rd one. So I'm saving the 4th one for you guys so that you can see how to do it. All right. They look similar but yet different because of the location of where the DSP was cut. Okay, so we move these off to the side. I have these numbers, so I knew what I was doing. All right, so here we go. And got my card base, the Whisper White. I'm using Petunia Pop. Again, I'll have all this stuff listed in my blog. Now, this has not been embossed because I am stamping it. Now, I could have easily stamped it and then maybe done some embossing, but I've got a lot of glitter that I don't think it looks too plain, but you could easily take this and emboss it if you so choose. I did go ahead and glue the DSP to this to the cardstock. I did it for sanity's sake because the pieces got loose and I felt like I was putting a puzzle together when I was trying to line the cardstock up with each of the particular DSP. And then, of course, I'm just doing a knot. I want something real simple, nothing overly fancy for the sympathy card. Now, I need my piercing mat. I want to stamp, and let's see, where's this one going to go? It's going to go like that. And I use the straight edge, and I'm going to go ahead and do portrait. You could easily, with any of these 4 cutouts, you could easily make it landscape if you so choose. But I'm just going to keep them all the same. That would really be pretty that way. You may have to trim this down, you know, just a little bit if you end up using this particular piece. But I'm going to go ahead and keep everything portrait, if you will, and just make it easy that way. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp and bring my stuff over. Probably get it out of the way quickly. I'm going to go ahead and actually it's really this particular cut, but this was on the, what number is this? Number 3, I think. What did I say? Oh, yeah, number 3. So the way I did it, let me bring over this was my cheat sheet because I didn't know what I was doing. I cut this out. I was playing around with, I was really trying to play around with the cardstock, trying to line it up. So I was creating this puzzle, so I labeled them. So this one is actually from this side, and this one is from here. So it's kind of the same, it's kind of sort of same layout. Hopefully I just didn't confuse you with that. But I'm going to go ahead and lay that there. So I'm going to put With Sympathy right there. Get rid of my ruler out of the way. Let's not stamp it upside down. Now I'm using Pebbled Path. Pebbled Path will be going away actually in a few days. I know that all the Pebbled Path related colors are listed as last chance, and sorry to see this one go because I used the ink pad quite a bit. It's just a softer color instead of that stark, dark memento black that sometimes that's just all you need. So we got that stamped, and that's all we're going to do because I did not decorate the inside yet. Quite honestly, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that. I probably, because I'm using basic white, I probably will take the cardstock, the Petunia Pop, put it inside and with the white on top with a handwritten message is probably what I'm going to end up doing. So I want to glue this one flat. And you know, I'm glue girl. So do that. I think that's all the gluing because I think I'm going to use dimensionals for the Petunia Pop. So line that up and get that straight. What's great about this is you can move it in or move it out as much as you want to decorate. All right, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to leave that there because it's sliding. I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on the back because I want it to pop up. Where's my dimensionals? Here we go. Now, If this is the first time you guys have tuned in, thank you for finding me. And the link to the other blogs will be down below in my blog post. You may have to do a couple extra clicks, but it's really worth checking it out. I just absolutely love watching all of them. They're so creative, and they're from all over. United States, there's Canada, and I think we even had, I think from UK, I believe. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, I apologize. But they are just really very talented ladies, and I love watching their videos, and they offer lots of tips that actually has helped me too. So hopefully it will help you. So just popping that right on there. Now, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put it right there. Now, I don't glue this completely flat. I just like it to pop up a little airy. I don't know how to describe it, but I don't like to have it completely flat. Sometimes it's a challenge when you've got these little pieces trying to get it back in the envelope because it's not laid flat, but I just think it's so pretty when it pops up a little bit. So I think they'll enjoy it. And I love the glitter. All right, just do that. Press down a little bit. I think that's on there good. Now the bow, well, I shouldn't say bow, I just did a knot. I'm going to put right there with some mini dots, I think is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to put two just in case, kind of a big knot there. Let me put this up. Let's see, I'll put about right there. Probably press down a little bit harder just because I'm messing with a ribbon. That material sometimes doesn't play nice with the mini dots. All right, so I've got some embellishments somewhere here. Let's see, this is listed as last chance also. The iridescent adhesive back discs. This is great because it is completely flat. So you don't have any problems trying to get it through the mail. It doesn't ruin the outside card by poking a hole. And I have no idea what color, so let's do, I see some petunia pop right there. The way the light's hitting, it's kind of hard to tell if that's petunia pop or not. I can't really tell what that is, but we'll just go ahead and use this, and we'll just randomly put it somewhere. Do right there. And oops, that went upside down. How about right there? How's that look, guys? I think that'll work. All right, easy peasy. And we are done. The hard part was making sure that you cut it right if you want to actually use the matting. If you don't want to use the matting, then it's just that much easier. So I hope the way I showed you how to do the cutting with the mat, I hope that you find that that's really useful and easier than trying to do multiple cuts, trying to line up these angles, because it's nearly impossible unless you actually cut both of them at the same time. At least that's how I found it. But so here you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Easy peasy, different layout, similar layout, but using the paper at different angles really, to me, changes it up. So you could definitely do even more by embossing like I had mentioned. And of course you can tell that I did use the different colors of the embellishment. So with this, you guys have a wonderful week. Be sure to check out the other bloggers. They do fantastic work, and I think you guys will just enjoy doing it. And as always, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this One Sheet Wonder, give me a thumbs up. It does help me to at least gauge that these are the kinds of things you guys like. So have a wonderful day and keep on smiling, guys, because we need lots of smiles around the world. And Happy stamping to you all. Take care.